Hello everyone, my name is Duncan and welcome to Ace Tuesdays episode whatever. Honestly, I don't know which episode this will be or when it will be released. That's really all up to Danny. If you really want to know which episode this is, honestly just look at the title of this video. It's probably somewhere in there. And if not, then Danny and I need to have some talks. Anyways, as I said, welcome to Ace Tuesday. Today, hosted by me, Duncan. Now, some of you may know me from my own YouTube channel known as Dive Duncan, where I play several games, including a lot of Stonehearth, but that's not what I'm known here for as an Ace. Here I'm known as the lead lore, which means that I'm the leader of the lore team, and that's also who I'm here as today. Now, the lore team, as the name most likely already implies, is the team that goes over the lore of the game. This includes about anything you see written, ranging from simple flavor text on a wooden chair to a deep and overarching story hidden within the different campaigns the player can explore. Our job is to bring life to the game, give it a history, give it meaning, and not just a simple sandbox game in which you can randomly build. With this, our most difficult task is most likely to keep it all true to Stonehearth itself. With this I don't mean true to Stonehearth's own lore, which is actually surprisingly good, but I mean the feeling of what Stonehearth feels like. So the way that they present it and the way you go through the game and how all of it really feels all together. Keeping true to Stonehearth's own lore is rather simple. Radiant was kind enough to supply us with a lengthy and in-depth document regarding the lore of the game. This document describes the current state of the world, where the different races come from, and generally what is happening. A great example of this would be that the world of Stonehearth as we know it exists out of eons. An eon being a rather long period of time. I personally know them better as eras, and that's what I used previously, but since Radiant chose the name Eon, we'll just go and stick with that. Throughout this world, several eons have already passed. Within an eon, one of the animal gods of the world would ascend a creature into sentiency. The previous eon was the eon of the rabbit, hence why Clan Emberstone exists. And surprisingly, the current eon is the eon of the snake, which explains why there are so many goblins, orcs and kobolds. Though that creates the question, why are there humans here? Simply put, the monkey god is the one that created humans, humanoids rather. This includes humans, elves and dwarves, but the current eon is not the eon of the monkey, it's still the eon of the snake. So why is it so important? In one of our very first drafts for the dwarves, we came up with the idea that the dwarves are the children of another god, the mole god to be precise. They would be the oldest race currently in Stonehearth and having existed even before the rabbits. Now, with this information from Radiant, it is clear that this isn't the case, so we have to scrap this idea and work with something entirely new. What this will be is something that we discuss in another episode. It's not a difficult process, but it's one we have to keep a close eye on, the keeping true to Stonehearth's lore. The other point, the one regarding the feel of Stonehearth, is a bit more tricky. What we learned from the game by playing it is that Stonehearth tells a rather deep and surprisingly dark story, but presented in a very kind and funny way. This can be easily seen by just looking at the different characters within the game. Let's take Oko Skullbunker as example, a very intimidating character with a lust for blood, but due to the way he talks it's rather hilarious to encounter him. Or let's say Clan Emberstone, survivors of an event that nearly brought their entire race to extinction, being the few survivors of a horrible event, but their appearance and mannerisms are just being adorable. This way of presenting the story is something that we try to keep true to as much as possible, trying to tell a serious story through a lightweight presentation. My personal favorite example of how we're planning on doing this would be the character from the Order of Applied Equivocation campaign. This character known as Jacob the Mad is a pirate leader. Allow me to quote a small bit of the dialogue from the campaign that we are working on to shed a bit more light on this character. Well, to plunder, raid and pillage of course, but not with you. I like you, I think. Or is it hatred? Maybe it's love. Am I in love with you? No, that can't be true. Mom always told me that you shouldn't trust a woman you just met. Are you a woman? I can't tell. Anyways, because of this, hatred, love, liking, what was it again? Doesn't matter. Because of that, let's work together. How about that? This character tells about how he normally plunders, raids and pillages in the very first sentence, basically going from town to town and spreading absolute terror. This also personality is rather funny. He's got the mind of a child and constantly confuses himself. We have more characters created with this very idea, the idea of very serious story, but a lightweight approach and presentation to it. Each of these characters will be discussed in more detail in future Ace Tuesday episodes. I'm so terribly bad at this. Right, so that you know who we are and what we do, but you don't quite know what we're working on currently. Of course, each of these topics will most likely be addressed in a future detail in future Ace Tuesday episodes. But let's just make a small list so people can see or know what they can expect from us. Currently, a few of our biggest tasks are the pirates, ninjas and politicians, also known as the Order of Applied Correlation, and the dwarves and their quest. We're also working on alternate planes, more ways the player can encounter something to clan Emberstone, and more elementals. Each of these tasks are divided into the team, with each member working very hard on it to create high quality products for you to enjoy. Hopefully this episode would have given you a bit of an insight into the lore team and what we do. If you have questions, we have this lovely comment section that you can write in, and as per usual, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye!